Alright guys, this is what I'm making for dinner tonight. Beef and vegetable stew. Only I won't be adding the parsnips that are on this recipe. Alright, I've got everything chopped up and almost ready to go. I'm going to start by searing my beef here and then keep going with all the veggies. This is definitely not a weekday like quick meal. This takes some time, but hopefully it's going to be worth it. Alright, now the mushrooms are going to go in the pot and they're going to cook for 5 minutes with the cover on. Okay, now we're just going to stir them around and cook them until they're kind of dry. None of this liquid is left in the pan. Okay, the mushrooms are all brown and dry, so I'm going to stir in a tablespoon of canola oil and 2 minced onions into this and cook the onions until they're nice and soft. And the onions are soft. Now I'm going to stir in 4 cloves of garlic minced and 1 tablespoon of fresh thyme. Until it's fragrant, I'm going to cook it for about 30 seconds. Now we're going to put in 3 tablespoons of flour and this is a really big tablespoon, a tablespoon of tomato paste, and stir these around for about a minute. Now I'm going to add in 1.5 cups of red wine slowly and make sure to get all of the brown bits picked up from the pan. Alright, now we're going to slowly put in 4 cups of stock. That's 2 cups of beef stock and 2 cups of chicken stock. These are going in, then I'm going to put the brown meat back in, bring it up to a simmer, and we're going to cook this for 1.5 hours in the oven at 300 degrees. Alright, it's been cooking for 1.5 hours. I'm going to put in the potatoes, the carrots, the celery, and then cook it for another hour at 300 degrees. Okay, now we're going to add all this kale to the pot and put it back in the oven for another 10 minutes. The last step is stirring in some parsley and some frozen corn and peas, and then just letting it sit 5 to 10 minutes covered, and you're ready to eat. But there it is, all done. Beef and vegetable stew with some rolls, some frozen rolls that we got from Sam's Club. There's dinner. Finally, it took a long time, but it's worth it. Okay guys, dinner tonight is my favorite thing. Leftovers. We're having leftover stew, and I have some rolls in the oven, and that's it. Easy peasy. The greatest thing about leftovers is you couldn't get any easier or any cheaper. Okay, so here's what I am making for dinner tonight. Carrot ginger soup. Here's all of my ingredients besides the liquids that I need. I've got a minced onion, about 2 tablespoons of grated fresh ginger, and 9 carrots chopped. When you buy a piece of ginger, you always have a lot left over. Just peel it with your spoon and then stick it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer, and then you can grate it into anything you want. And you can actually grate it frozen. It actually grates really nicely like that. Next, I'm going to heat up some oil. Then I'm going to throw in the carrots and onions and cook them until they're soft. Alright, now I'm going to stir in my ginger, cook it for 30 seconds until it really starts to get fragrant, and then I'm going to stir in 3 cups of chicken broth, bring it to a simmer, cover it, reduce the heat to medium-low, and cook it for about 16 to 20 minutes until the carrots are really, really tender. Okay, we got the carrots tender, and now we're going to puree it in small batches in the blender. Alright, then we're going to stir in 3/4 cup milk and 1/4 cup of orange juice and some dried chives, and heat this until it's hot over medium heat, and it's ready to eat. Easy, cheap, and good. Alright, here we go, and here's dinner. Here's the soup all done, and we're having some leftover cheese and crackers and sausage from Christmas and an orange. Okay, here's dinner tonight. I couldn't film me making it because the camera battery is dead, and I probably charged it just enough to do this, so we are having pepperoni pizza with some frozen peas and carrots and some tangerines. Good morning, guys. I am making dinner. I've got some ground beef and a good-sized onion and 2 green peppers sauteing here. I'm seasoning it with a little salt and pepper, and just kind of get the meat browned and get the vegetable soft, I'm making chili today. I was watching Gazelle Intense yesterday, and they were making chili, and it looked so good that I had to make it myself. I'll leave their channel link down below. I just discovered them. They are an engaged couple who's also on a debt-free journey, so check them out. They are really great. Alright, it's all browned, and I drained off the fat, and now I'm going to add a couple cloves of minced garlic to it and cook that for about 30 seconds. Then I'm going to deglaze the pan with a little bit of beef broth. Okay, and now we add a big can. It all depends on what I have in my pantry, but this time I have petite diced tomatoes. So I'm going to add this big can of those. A can of black beans, rinsed and drained. And a can of chili ready kidney beans. These were on sale. I've actually never used these before, but hopefully I'll add a nice little flavor to it. 2 good-sized sweet potatoes cut into bite-sized chunks. And about a cup or so of frozen corn. And then for the seasonings, I do a good amount of chili powder. I'm not exactly sure how much. I just shake a bunch in there. A pinch of cumin, salt and pepper, a pinch of Creole seasoning, and then my secret ingredient that makes my chili good, I think. And that is 1 dried smoked habanero pepper. I rehydrated and diced up. Just 1 will do the trick, unless you want it super spicy, then you could do 2. You can find these really cheap in like the Hispanic part of your grocery store. It really adds a nice smoky flavor and kind of just a richness to it that we really like. Then I just let this simmer, guys, for hours and hours. Sometimes I'll just transfer it to the crock pot and let it go too. Just depends on what you want to do. Cover it, simmer it, and in like 4 hours you have a delicious chili. And guys, this is usually like a double dinner for us where we have it the next night, or we freeze part of it and have it later. And it's at least a lunch or two too. So this makes a lot, and it's really cheap to make. Alright, so we have the chili mixed with some macaroni, a little bit of cheese, some sour cream, and some tortilla chips crumbled on top. And we're serving that with the roll. Hey, we're having some McDonald's tonight. It's New Year's Eve, so we're having a little treat. I've got 2 cheeseburgers and fries, and the kids have nuggets and fries.